name is Brigitte Belle for those of you who don't know me, and for those of you who do and are returning subscribers, welcome back. I am so happy that you're here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about tips for writers. Now, I know that I've said before on this channel that I've been working as a freelance writer and that I've been writing for my personal work for years and years and years, but this video can really apply to anybody who's sitting at home, works from home, does an office job. It can be kind of taxing on your mind and your body to just be sitting in one place for so many hours at a time and just staring at a screen. So I thought I would take a moment to share some tips that I have for you if you're a writer, if you're a stay-at-home entrepreneur, blogger, whatever it may be, where you're just having to sit at your desk for hours on end. So let's just jump right into it. My first tip for you is to drink lots of water. Now, I know this may not seem like an important tip, or it may seem like an incredibly cliche tip, but it actually is really important. And the reason for that is, as Dr. Daniel Amen states in his book, Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, your brain takes up about 20 to 30% of your body's entire energy and water. So if you aren't staying hydrated, there's a good chance that your brain isn't gonna function as it should. So personally, as I'm working at my desk, I make sure to have a nice mason jar of water and drink that periodically or regularly as I'm working. In fact, I think I'll have some right now. Oh my gosh, I was thirstier than I thought I was. Woo! Okay, my next tip for you is to schedule small breaks. So I don't know about you, but there's a certain point where my brain just does not want to work anymore. And so to avoid this, I found the best thing that you can do is schedule small breaks in between increments of work. So I know this type of working may not work for everybody, but usually the first thing that I'll do in the morning is just start doing some writing because my mind is fresh. I usually have creative ideas. It's the easiest for me to just start getting thoughts out. Then once I've taken some time to write and had a little work increment, I'll make myself some breakfast or I'll make a smoothie and I'll get back to writing again. Then once I've had another work increment, I'll do some chores around the house, or I'll try to go for a walk or check the mail or something like that. Sometimes I'll check social media, but I'll make sure to only give myself 15 minutes or so that I don't spend 3 hours going down a scrolling vortex. So that is my second tip. Definitely work in increments, schedule small breaks in between your work so that you don't get fatigued and feel like you just want to quit and not look at your computer ever again. My third tip is along those lines. It's to exercise, get fresh air, get sunlight. Personally, something that I'll do sometimes is take my computer out onto my balcony so I can get some sun while I'm working. Or if I find that I'm having a hard time continuing to focus, I'll go down to the pool for 30 minutes, get some vitamin D, and then come back up to my apartment again and keep working. I also found that regular exercise is really important. Sometimes I feel like I'm just in a creative rut and my mind is not wanting to cooperate with me. And so I noticed that going to the gym really gets oxygen flowing to my brain. It gets those endorphins going to where I can feel good again. I can feel more creative, but I also want to add, don't overwork yourself, because if you overwork yourself, it will backfire. I had a day where I went to the gym last week. I was feeling really good at first. I was having all these ideas for different like vlogs and different work that I could do for clients. And then I just kept lifting weights and all of a sudden I felt exhausted. Like I did not want to move. I didn't even want to make myself dinner. So definitely don't overwork yourself because then it could backfire and have the opposite effect. But I found if you do a moderate amount of exercise every day or a few times a week, it really helps with keeping your brain healthy and keeping you creative and getting those creative juices flowing. My fourth tip for you is to watch, listen to, and surround yourself with inspiring things, places, people, imagery, podcasts, books, you name it. And the reason for this is because, as I've shared before on my Instagram, you are the sum of your influences. So if you are constantly listening to things that are negative, watching things on TV that are negative, surrounding yourself with just negative people, you are probably gonna feel negative yourself. But if you surround yourself with things that uplift you, beautiful music when you wake up in the morning, books that just inspire you, you know, photos that make you want to travel and sightsee and do all these fun things, then you're probably going to feel a lot more creative. And I notice that that goes for myself, That's why I have to also be really careful and mindful of who I follow on social media. I try to follow, you know, travel blogs where if I'm scrolling, I'm not seeing things that are negative. I'm seeing things that are beautiful, that are reminding me why I want to work so hard. Or I'll follow people's business tips or other entrepreneurs who are doing what I want to do and have already made it to the level that I want to make it at. And I use that to just inspire me and use that as fuel and think, if they can do it, I can do it too. So make sure you're surrounding yourself with just beautiful things, happy things that make you feel good and excited to keep on working and keep on moving towards your goals. There's a verse in the Bible that's really good. It says, whatever is good, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely and lovable, think about such things. And I've definitely seen the importance of keeping your mind focused on the right things. The social media tip does come with a caveat though. If you are constantly only looking at what other people are doing, it may also backfire if you drift into comparison. So that's just a side note. Don't let it allow you to compare when you're looking at what other people are doing. Let it inspire you, and just be mindful of that when you're engaging on social media, where your mind is at. You want to make sure that you're in a good frame of mind and not a comparing one. My fifth and final tip for you is to keep a comfortable environment. So something that I've personally noticed, and again, this might be a little different for everybody. Some people might intentionally keep their environment a little colder so that they can force themselves to stay focused. But I noticed that for myself, if I'm too cold, if I'm too hot, my mind will just like be distracted on the fact that I'm shivering or sweating. So I try to keep myself comfortable. I try to, you know, keep my thermostat at a temperature that I'm comfortable at. I'll keep a little blanket by me if I need to, and then I'll have cold water or soup also on hand if I'm too hot or too cold. And again, this might be different for everybody. I don't know if that's something that you guys can relate to. I've worked other jobs before, you know, like when I was a cocktail waitress, where I was literally running around and sweating, and it didn't affect my work at all. But I noticed because I'm now sitting at a desk writing all day, that I notice the smallest things. So if you are like me and you are easily distracted also, that might be something that you want to pay attention to. Make sure that you have a comfortable work environment so that it's easy to stay focused. Something I will actually do to help me with that, there's two things. I have this little back support tool that I will often wear to help keep my back straight, because I notice if I'm hunched over, then my back will start hurting at a certain point of the day, and that will obviously be very uncomfortable for me and will make me not want to focus on work, because I'll be focusing on my back pain. The other thing that I've done is get this circadian rhythm light, and maybe I'll show you guys in a minute. But this light, because I'm indoors a lot of the time just working, helps kind of provide some light that would mimic the sunlight, so that you're getting a little bit, I'm not quite sure if they're considered UV rays or something else, but I actually have it set up over here and it's turned on, so maybe I'll just show you. Can you see it? It's by my laptop. Yeah. So I will keep that by my computer, and I've also found that I think it just helps keep me awake and brightens up my mood a little bit and helps me stay focused while I'm staring at my screen all day. There is actually one final tip that I didn't write down that I just wanted to add really quick, and that is to stay distraction free as much as you possibly can. If you live with other people, this might be a little harder, especially with things being shut down right now. It might be a little hard to go out to a coffee shop or a library or something like that. So if you don't live alone, having things like headphones or do not disturb sign on your door. I don't know what you could do if you have kids, maybe have your spouse watch them while you go to your community clubhouse or something like that, to just kind of have a space where you can stay focused. Another thing that I will do is not have my phone out with me while I'm working. I will leave it in my bedroom on silent mode, so that even if people do call me, I'm not getting distracted by their phone calls. If I'm giving myself a 15-minute break, that's when I'll go check my phone. But other than that, I try to stay away from my phone as much as possible, because if it's dinging and going off, then there's just no way that I'm gonna be able to stay focused on the task at hand, which is writing and finishing complete cohesive sentences for my clients' work. So those were my 6 tips for writers or anyone working from home. I hope you found it useful. Let me know if you have any tips like these below. I'd love to hear what they are, as I'm always looking for more ways to stay productive and stay focused and stay on task. And that was all for this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos like this one. Comment below if you'd like more writing related videos and what kind of videos on the subject of writing that you would like. And that is all for now. Ta-ta for now. I'll see you later. Okay, bye.